welcome back. We're back here for Top Cut now.
Yep.
So, top table that we just saw is going to be Johnny Tsunami, who was playing the Bonney, and Greg, who was one of our Lucci players that made it into Top Cut. So, Greg will be at the top and Johnny at the bottom.
Yep.
So, I did take a look around and I saw what was out there. So, there's two Luccis,
There is two Lucci's in top.
two Dofis.
Okay.
We have an Anel, the Bonney, a BY, and an Anami.
Okay.
So
So that's a good spread.
it is a good spread. Just double Dofi, double Lucci, and then
Mhm.
one-ups of everything else. So kind of excited to see. We actually get to see a Lucci here.
Showing the hand.
So he does see a Moria.
He sees a Moria, but I think, was that just all counter?
Not sure. I did see a Suru in the Moria.
Yeah.
But obviously it was good enough for Greg to keep it.
Yeah.
I have been noticing some breathing.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
lower your guys' game just a little bit so it doesn't do that. Okay. I just wanted to be sure.
So Johnny is mulliganing.
Yep.
What do
And
you want to see in the Lucci Mare?
What do I want to see?
When you first start your turn bonus.
So obviously, again, I say this every time. It's hand dependent, but I love making, getting two searchers on board and making it very awkward for the swings. Um, you're hoping to get a Hody or two. Two Hodies is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But the Hodies, you don't want to play them necessarily right away, because you kind of, as Bonney, you want to set yourself up to win with Hody.
Yeah, and you see Johnny does open up with the Bonney and is going to get a search off
Yep.
with it. So only looking for supernovas, and it can find itself, which is very
It can
nice.
find itself. I do that a lot.
Mhm.
If it's nothing that I really need off that search, I would have got another searcher and then played that down too.
So he is poking for 5.
Yep. He still has two Dawn up.
Greg
So
counters with the Helm Apple, which is something that Lucci does want in the trash.
okay, he did have the double searcher. Perfect.
So here, not too worried about resting because, again, Lucci hasn't established any bodies.
Yep.
And these things are going to be pseudo blockers. So
He's doing exactly what I would do. Just keep the searchers going. It stalls out the game, and it also forces a very early Lucci.
or Greg could play a Brook
That's true. Brook would be good to establish.
because then you can be able to knock both Bonnies this turn, swinging with
Yep.
the Lucci at one and then Brook taking out the other.
Yep. And you don't have to worry about actually attacking into the Bonnies, which is kind of like the point.
Yep. So there he goes. He is swinging using leader ability.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we are milling, but that's the whole point of Lucci. You want to get to 10 cards in the
Mhm.
trash to be able to activate Tempest Kick to
Yep.
give -3 and get a card draw. But you also want to give yourself cards to play with the Gecko Moria. So the Rebecca being in the trash, absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
That's what you want to see. Now we just need to put a Spandine and a Lucci, and we're golden for our 20 Dawn turn play.
Yeah. So far as trash, even though it's only 3 cards, it feels half set up already
Mm-hmm.
with that Helmepo down
Yep,
there.
Helmepo and Rebecca just missing 2 more pieces.
Yep.
So this Cavendish is going to be a menace.
Yeah, being able to set up the Cavendish right away is very annoying for the Lucci player because they're going to want to get rid of that as fast as possible.
Mhm. But we do know now that, Greg did not have the Brook in hand, which is unfortunate to be able to get rid of that other Bonney.
Yep.
So,
Hawkins is also another key card in this matchup.
yeah, gave me nightmares when Johnny faced me in the case tournament. I was playing Lucci, so.
And even that Hawkins, honestly, just not even using it as a blocker and just attacking with it, 7K, that's very annoying to remove. A great card for the matchup.
I think you definitely want to play aggressive against Lucci with that Hawkins.
Yes, I tend to play aggressive because you want to get that Lucci down to a low life total. So you're basically always threatening game. And it looks like he has the Hody in hand.
But is it too early to establish it, or do we just pressure?
I think it's too early because he's only at 4 life. Sometimes it is good to use that Hody and just get him down to a kill range for later. Because if you don't get Lucci down to a kill range later, with the amount of blockers and geckos, it's a very uphill battle.
Mm-hmm. So he ends up milling a Suru. I'm not sure what the other card is, but oh, he's gonna play a Suru.
Okay.
Putting
Yep,
it at
he's
2.
getting rid of it right now.
Doing a Lucci play.
Yep.
Yep, Lucci's gonna KO the block or the Searcher and the Cavendish.
Yep.
Oh, so it was a Jack that he ended up milling.
Yeah, that's perfect. Both those off the board.
Mhm.
Lucci is now in favor on
Yep.
board.
And you're okay with bottom decking the Suru because you do have the Helmeppo in the trash, so Helmeppo is way more viable than the Suru, giving a -3 reduction.
Yeah, and he already has one on board, so it'll find its way in the trash eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least you hope so as a Lucci player.
Yeah, so Johnny's poking for 5 here. Greg's debating. Looks like he's probably oh.
So he's taking the 5 poke.
Yeah. Again, probably just trying to find something here.
Let's see.
So here, if Greg can find a finger pistol, he could leader swing and remove the Hawkins, just as long as he swings with the rest of his field. But he's got a Don up.
Yep. Let's see. Yeah, getting rid of that Hawkins if he can, that would be perfect.
So this is where the Jacks actually benefit.
Yeah, he's looking for his trash.
He had a Rebecca. He had Rebecca and Helmeppo left.
Yep.
Looks like he's having some.
Rebecca and Helmeppo should be in your trash.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Oh. There's a chance that they might have knocked the cards into the deck.
It's possible he put it on the bottom.
I'll come over there. I'll be right
Yeah.
They're going to get someone to come over and look for those cards, just so it doesn't affect any part of the game.
Yeah.
Because, honestly, well, he did bottom deck those 3.
So so what we're looking for currently is a Rebecca
And
and a Helmeppo.
Yep.
Which should have been in the trash. So they're looking to see if they accidentally knocked it onto the floor currently.
Yeah, one might have got put on deck.
Disruption. This is all a part of Greg's plan here to throw Johnny Tsunami off.
Yeah, he's trying to get Johnny nervous right now.
You know, Mr. Fukuro obviously is facing his his boss here.
Yeah, he knows his
Lucci.
Don can't be KO'd by effects.
Which is why he's trying to get rid of it. So there is the Helmeppo. They finally found it.
But that was, from the Lucci player, that was a perfect Rob Lucci play. It does hurt a little bit to start getting, you only got 2 cards in trash, but a Rebecca and a Helmeppo,
That's what
he's
you
still
wanna see.
good, yeah. And he still has a leader swing.
Correct.
He ended up putting the cards back on top of his deck.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. when all that stuff flipped over,
They put both on?
yeah, it flipped onto his deck.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay, so that's where the Rebecca and the Helmeppo went.
Yeah.
Right to the top. He was trying to stack.
When you flip the mat over, the cards flipped on top of your deck.
Wow. What were the odds of that? Okay, so back to the normal game state. Like I was saying, though, what if Greg has finger pistol in hand, could swing with leader, reduce that Basil by 1,
Yep.
and get rid of it.
Yeah, and it's very beneficial to just get rid of it right now.
So he's at least getting a swing off of it. Does Greg have the finger pistol, though, is the question.
Well, if he does, he
he's
would have
going
had
for
to
Moria.
attack with Suru.
Yeah.
I figured it was probably the Moria play. Yep, get that 2K back to hand.
Which is still not a bad play.
No, you're just establishing board.
Unfortunate.
Now, I'm curious. Even though there really wasn't much to do, would you keep that Helmeppo in trash? Or because you have a full board, but if Johnny picks any part off, Helmeppo's staying on the board.
Correct.
He doesn't want to put that back in trash.
That is true. Me personally, I could just attach 2 Dawn and just start putting pressure on.
Yeah.
So with it being on the field, so where I'm gonna make it where my opponent wants to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Not too sure what Greg has in the hand, but
Yeah.
it's
Was
less
that a
Dawn added to it.
Kaku?
Yep.
I think, yeah, Kaku. I mean, at this point, Johnny still has 5 life. Even though Lucci, he has his board, it's not. It's really only the Gecko that's a threat.
Mm-hmm. And if he Hodies here and rests and doesn't go for the board, he could always play over the Helmeppo to get it in the trash.
Yeah, as Bonney, I would definitely, with the amount of life you have, just pressure. Pressure that life. Get to a winning state.
Yeah, and this is the one thing I hated about Bezos. They're going to stick no matter what, so they're not afraid of letting it go.
Yeah, now he does have his Gecko, the swing into Basil, but Bonnie's saying it's still okay. I think he's at 6.
Not only that, he's still at 5 life, too. He's sitting healthy.
Yeah, 5 life. He still hasn't used his Dawn yet. He's at 9. What does he want to do for 9? Establishing another
Basil. Yep.
Perfect.
He's in a
For
search.
Rosinante? Oh,
Oh,
killer.
killer.
Okay.
And still has 1 Dawn
Yeah.
up for leader ability.
Yep.
So very good setup. And again, if both Basils stick on the field, he could just swing 7s with both of them next turn.
Yeah, and having that chump blocker, I don't want to say necessarily awkward, but Lucci also has to spend, resources and Dawn just to get rid of it if he wants to get rid of that first and then swing into the Hawkins. So that's already Dawn down, and if you stack more Dawn on Gecko, your whole turn's play, you're not playing as much or doing
Yeah.
a huge combo turn.
And it looks like Greg might play out a king right now.
Oh, messed up the state again. I mean, we got to keep the Moria swing.
So looks like we might need another judge call here. So Greg attempted to swing with the Gecko, thinking that he was swinging with the Lucci, and attempted to use his leader ability. So he milled the 2 cards, thinking that he was swinging with his leader here.
Yeah, he could he could be like a little nervous or something. Just after the first, how the cards from his trash flipped on top of the deck, it rattles you a little bit, throws off the whole game.
But you can hear the competitiveness of Johnny Tsunami here, ready to go.
Yep.
Which
It looks like
sucks.
he's
That was
just
a
putting him on the
Rebecca and a
bottom.
Who's Who.
Yeah, that's rough. Yep. Yep.
So
Don't give
not
up.
sure what exactly Greg was trying to do with the play. Maybe jacking an Ice Age if he's running Ice Age to get rid of one of the Hawkins.
Yeah, I'm not completely sure yet. Also, too, just these 2 judge calls and mistakes. It really does add up, and it affects your thinking. Hopefully, for Greg, he can kind of take a second, calm down, get back in the game, which it seems like that's what he's doing. Because some people, after a judge call, might be a little rattled and, not think straight.
I mean, they are playing for manga cards here. So
Yeah.
This game here determines whether they make the top 4.
Yep.
And guarantee themselves 1 manga here.
Yep. So this first game for all our top cut players is very important.
So
They just need that 1 win, and then I think the rest of the games, like, people can play a little more freely, knowing like, hey, at least I got prizing.
And that's where a lot of that pressure is at now.
So he's going for
Probably setting up another Moria here.
7. The Hawkins. Easy 1K. Yep. I think that was a good choice, the pitch. So he is going for the KO. He might be doing some sort of Lucci play.
No, he's done the Ice Age. It looks like the Jack is going to hit the field right here.
Okay, so he's
Yep.
going for the Jack.
I would play over the Helmeppo here. Yep.
Yep,
To
you
get
want
the
it back
Helmeppo
in
the
trash. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Over the Helmeppo. He's going to activate main Jack's ability to rest, to draw a card, and has to discard one. So ends up getting another Helmeppo. So could have played over the Suru. I mean, you're not going to know, but
Yeah.
better to get the Helmeppo in the trash anyway. But
No, turning the Rebecca sideways, he did have to get rid of the Hawkins. You kind of also have to make a choice too, because Johnny has the Hody. Lucci has 2 life. Do you swing with Bonney into Rebecca just to get it off board, so maybe you're only dealing with 1 blocker next turn? Or just get him down to 0 and really apply pressure, because again, he still has 5 life.
yeah, currently there's no Rebecca in the trash, though. So you don't want to give him an extending of a Moria play.
Yeah, because
also.
unfortunately, because that Gecko mistake, that Rebecca's no longer in trash. So yeah, maybe just ignore it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Johnny is trying to do right now.
Yeah, so even then, I would just pressure
Swinging
lead.
7s. I think he's planning on playing Hody now. It might be. Or no, he might be setting up. I think he might have a carrot. He has a Rosinante. So he might play carrot Rosinante. Rosinante has a little bit of protection. So that's 1 hoop you have to go through.
And you can stun the Lucci to prevent a swing.
And then your Hody's still in
Yep.
hand. So hopefully you have 3 swings with that Hody.
Yep. So there it goes. So the carrot does stun the Lucci
Yep.
here and blockers up with Rosinante.
Why would he stun the Lucci?
So Lucci right now,
prevent
he
a swing.
still has a good board, but
better just
he
take the
needs a
Jack's
second
on 11.
blocker. Oh, that's fine.
So he is unable to
Because Gecko's out.
choose the Jack because Jack has a passive ability to give himself +4.
Yep.
So taking away the 7 cost and making him into an 11. So the best choice there was the Lucci here. So
Yeah, and as the Lucci player, I don't know if I would even attempt to KO Hawkins, because then you got to rest that Rebecca.
correct. Or he just swings at it, but then he gets the Rosinante.
Yeah, swinging would be the best way. I guess you like a waste to swing, but Lucci can play the long game.
They could. Or you swing out and play the Gecko over the Rebecca, because again, there is no Rebecca in the trash currently.
That's true.
So
yeah,
it's
that
not
would
a bad
be-
idea to swing out. The only thing is if he swings, Johnny has a Don up that can rest the Jack, which prevents him from popping
Yep.
the Basil this way.
Yep. This is exactly what I want to do with Bonney. I want to make everything as awkward as possible. Because if Lucci always has like a good line and it's not awkward, like you're just playing their game.
Yeah, at best, you can tap the Jack to KO the Rosinante.
Yep, that's
And then
usually what you would
swing
do.
at the Basil now with the Gecko.
Uh-huh.
But
know-
he still has a Don up to rest the blocker.
Yeah, Lucci still has a good size hand. I want to say that's 6 or 7 cards. So going for a Hody play next turn can be a little risky. Because if you go all out, Lucci can respond in turn.
It could. And Johnny only has 3 cards in hand right now, too.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it might be taking this Basil because, again, the Hody is there.
Yep,
so
he has to get rid of it.
He's making sure that the Hody or that the Basil is gone.
Might as well,
Rest leader to prevent a swing.
yeah. Prevent a -1 that I don't know how much the Lucci player has for Dawn left. But that -1 on a carrot could be huge.
Chose the Rebecca.
But at the same time, if he chooses the Rebecca, he can wait a turn on Hody and get him down to 0.
True.
See what Lucci wants to give up.
So he ends up giving the carrot a -1 off his leader ability, bringing it down to 4. Not sure what he has planned.
I think probably just
6-cost
Gecko.
Brook?
Or wait,
not
no.
sure.
Yep.
Oh,
Okay,
there
that's
it
what
goes.
I thought. Yeah. Yeah.
So this is the play we were talking about, getting that Rebecca back into the trash. But it's a little awkward because now what do you play?
Playing things over. Does he have a, is it Spandine?
Oh, he does have a Brook in hand. I did see it.
He does,
Grabs-
so that will pop
yep.
the carrot.
Grabs a 2K, and we'll play out the Brook.
Yep.
Yep, there it goes. Board clears
Yep.
the Bonney player.
That Bonney player really needed one character up.
Because he can still play Hody, but at best,
You don't want to play Hody now.
Greg can still counter out of a swing, so makes
Yeah.
that turn now awkward for Bonney here. He does have another carrot and a Rosinante.
Which wouldn't be terrible. At least you can stun Jack.
No, he can't stun Jack. Jack is
No,
11.
with carrot?
Nope.
Oh, wait, you're
It's
right.
got the passive ability giving it a +4.
You're right. And Lucci has a lot of counter in hand. I see a lot of 2Ks in there.
Yeah.
And he still has a Sabo for next turn. Lucci's in a good position right now. Let's see. There's not a lot of options Bonney can do.
So I think he's opting to probably swing for 10 here with the Bonney. Is what it looks like. I'm not sure. Maybe he could stun the Brook, preventing him to give something -1 and being able to pop a 0 cost. And block her up with Rosinante.
Yeah, if he had 2 Hodies, I would definitely go for the Hody, but that's not the case. You could bank on what you get off of life, but he has a big enough board that going down the 3 life, that's risky too.
Johnny Tsunami over here thinking about the best play he's got to do. It looks like he's opting to do the Hody.
Yep.
So ends up taking a life.
Don't know what he grabbed.
Swinging 7, so he's going to put pressure on Greg here.
Yep. I think Johnny realized with his hand he kind of has to go for the Hody and hopefully high rolls another Hody in hand.
And this is where I would be thinking like Greg, do I take this life and counter out a Hody and see what else I can find? Because if he doesn't have anything to reduce the Hody and get rid of it.
Yeah, that's what he definitely opted to do.
Because we know he has the counter to get out of this swing at least. So gives up 2Ks.
Yeah. I think also too, again, can't tell from hand. I think he only had 2Ks for counters, so it would have been the same result either way for countering out.
Johnny has 5 cards in hand. Greg has a full field, and he's stacked. He's got the Jacks and the Geckos. Has a Rebecca, but you don't know if Johnny can respond with a second Hody.
Yeah, you need that last Hody. I think no matter what, I don't think there's any other bodies Johnny can respond with to really, take the win or get back in the game because Lucci's board is too big.
Yeah, even if Greg wanted to just try to go for lethal here, having 3 life and then being able to rest one of these bodies is what just throws this all off.
It's still always risky, and then +2, the 0 cost event on trigger rests a body.
And looks like he has a Tempest Kick, and he's opting to play it, which reduces the Hody down to a 4 cost, just out of range for Jack.
Yeah, he's definitely going to play it slow here. There's no reason for Greg to rush this. because he has that Sabo in hand too.
Looks like he has a Suru as well. Could play the Suru over the Brook to reduce the Hody and knock it with the Jack. Is a possibility. The only thing is now he's tapping into those 2Ks that he has in hand.
Yep.
Which, again, if Johnny plays a Hody, probably won't be able to get out of it.
So what he's doing here.
So yeah, this is where it's very awkward here for Greg.
I don't think it's too awkward though. He's definitely going to play the Sabo.
Correct, but it doesn't get around the leader ability rest, which is, if it wasn't for that, I would all day just swing with my leader, reduce it one more cost, and then just tap the Jack to pop it.
Yeah.
So
I guess, too, if you play the Sabo at the end of the turn, like he has a lot of 2Ks in hand, so that could actually potentially be detrimental if he gets that second Hody.
True. He could do the Sabo over the Brook to cycle 2 cards out and potentially find another Tempest Kick.
True.
But looking at his trash, he already looks like he has 3.
Now, do you just rest the Jack here as Bonney? I mean, not let him even get the free value?
If he wants to keep the Hody here, yeah.
Yeah. Because with 3 life, if he just rests the Jack, prevent that.
Oh, Johnny chose not to rest.
What do you rest?
He did not rest. He took the leader swing, countered for 1, heavily punished there because now Greg was able to do the Jack to get rid of the Hody.
Yeah, I don't know if that was intentional or, I mean, I've done it as a Bonney player where I'm so focused on what my counter or what my play is going to be that I forget to use that leader ability.
That is honestly exactly what Greg needed.
He has another Hody in hand. That's why he did it.
No? Think so?
Yeah, I think I saw it.
I think I still would have wanted the rest of Jack just to get more resources out of the Lucci hand.
Yeah. I think maybe part of it, too, is, if Greg has a Rebecca and Sabo in hand, like that's always that's always something, you worry about as a Bonney player. 3 blockers is just nothing is happening that
And
turn.
he is able to cycle to try to find it with the Sabo.
Maybe that's also part of his game plan. I've also, too, as, Bonney and the Lucci, like, even knowing, like, I got that second Hody or something.
Oh, no, it was a carrot, not a Hody.
Oh, okay, so no Hody in Johnny's hand.
There's a chance he finds it in these swings at life, which is also very risky, but needs to be done here.
Yeah, Johnny does have to think hard about this. He still has his leader ability.
Could rest the Gecko to prevent a swing.
Because if he rests the Rebecca, he's banking on Greg not having a second blocker.
Or even if he does play 2 blockers, Hody will rest both.
Yeah, I'm saying, if he had 2 blockers in hand, they get 3 down. That secures it. But yeah, Johnny's really just banking that he can't get another blocker down. And maybe he also wants some swings to fish for that Hody.
Oh, which looks like he does not have the other blocker.
And it looks like we still have 8 Dawn. He still has the 5 set to the side for the Sabo. Yep, okay, 7
He's just
lead.
putting the aggression and will just play down the 1.
At this point, yeah, he does have the Hody in hand.
He's got the Hody.
He does have the Hody in hand. So I don't know how much counter Greg has. This will cycle. He's going to fish for more counter.
So he needs to find.
He got a Rebecca and a non-counter. He has 2 events that he could pitch.
Which is what exactly he's going to pitch.
So I'm not sure. That Hody can attack an 11, and then you got a 5.
Did he get the Hody out of life?
I think he got the Hody out of life.
And this is where turtling up probably would have been the better play and not being so aggressive to the Bonney. But again,
Yeah.
he could top deck it as well.
Yeah, but I still think there's no. I don't think there's any reason to have to go for game as the Lucci player. But also, too, what else are you really going to do?
And Greg just asked Johnny if he's going to Hody again. There's the Hody.
Does he have enough counter? I know he had a lot of 2Ks.
This is what it's going to come down to. Swinging 7.
Because he did give up those 2. It looks like he has 3 2Ks, 2 1Ks.
So there's a chance it all comes down to how Johnny's going to swing out right here then.
Oh, so 11.
'Cause I saw Suru
If he stacks all the Dawn on Hody,
swings for 11.
I think Greg has the counter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's doing it that way, which fishes 2 counters out. That'd be a 2K, 1K, and he still has enough
That's the
counter.
3.
And he has 5.
Wow.
Yep.
Just barely makes it out of that.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So Greg's just going to slap it all onto Moria, and that is
Yep.
it. Johnny is knocked from top cut.
Yeah. Johnny
And-
found what he needed, but also, too, Greg countered very, he did it smart.
Yeah, so Greg is the winner of
Mm-hmm.
this top cut, or first
for-
round of top cut. Securing him a manga.
Yep.
So
He's got a
that
manga
win now secures Greg a manga for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on what placement he gets, he may get to choose his manga, or he's just given whatever's left.
Yeah, at the end of the poll. But you know what? At the end of the day, I would just be happy getting, any prizing.
Yeah.
You can't be too down on yourself about that.
Oh, yeah.
Quick service announcement, if you can repeat this for me. So they have a bunch of side events that they're doing currently.
Alright.
They have a Porcelino prize card, pudding prize card, a 3v3 pudding prize card set,
Pudding.
a Shanks manga, a OP9 box, and then an OPO 3v3 case tournament. They're also doing a Shirahoshi prize card,
Mm-hmm.
and they're doing an alt Dofi leader.
Okay. All right, so we just got word in for the side events. Since it is now 3 o'clock, if you guys have been tuning in, we have been announcing it all day. Side events are starting now here at the Abode.
Yep.
OP9 legal. We just got the list of the stuff that they are playing for. So it is a bunch of prize cards and OP9 boxes. Specifically for the prize cards, we have the Borsalino prize card.
Yep.
Such a great one from OP2. We have the Pudding prize card. We have a Shanks manga card going into those side events as well.
Yep.
A Pudding set. They said it was a prize card, and I believe maybe the SP and the alt. Not too sure what they meant by the set, but
Yeah.
a Pudding prize set for one of the events.
Rayleigh, not Shanks. That was my mistake.
Oh, Rayleigh manga, not the Shanks
Yeah,
manga.
manga Rayleigh.
So manga Rayleigh, my bad. Again, the OP9 boxes.
Yep.
They're gonna have 3v3 case. Obviously, it is
Right now they're doing some stuff. Maybe a little later
groups
if you want to.
groups of 3, and you, not for a case. You guys are playing for box. I believe it's boxes for each member of the team.
I believe so.
A Shirahoshi prize card, and a Doflamingo leader card, since
Yeah.
it is the best deck in the format.
Yeah, so we got great prizing. I mean, hey, if you're not here already and you're close by, just come on by.
Yeah,
Win
and
some of this stuff.
they are going to be hosting the events till, I think they said the evening, so maybe 8 o'clock, 8 p.m., so you have all day to get
Yeah.
here, participate in the events, especially if you guys want to rep OP9 or run some OP9 reps. There's a place to do it and get great prizing while you're at it.
Yeah, I mean, I might pop in an event at the end of Top Cut if it's still going on. I don't
Yeah,
know.
maybe.
I mean,
I'll get smoked with my Blackbeard back. but
Yeah,
I'm here for it.
I brought my Ploofy and Blackbeard, and I probably will not touch Blackbeard.
Chris, they are best of 1 round, so
I'm going to check to see
Just-
where we're at.
for sure. So one round and you're out. So
Yep.
Johnny has been knocked from the tournament, and it is now Greg passing on to the next round.
Mm-hmm.
Not too sure who else is going to make it. Again, I did see 2 Dofies, and an L and a B.